To overcome fear?
To overcome fear, blockages, traumas, things that they're experiencing in their lives, considering this global thing taking place?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. The first thing I think is important is for us to meditate or contemplate on our mortality and understand that our physical vessel is going to die. We're all going to die here. So, doing that work and just really contemplating it. And it's not like a morbid thing. Just recognize that because it makes life more precious, but you have to go do this work, right? And so, I invite the person to kind of consider doing that. The other thing about fear is that, it's not necessarily always bad. Like it's a good thing. If I'm leveling up in my sports performance, whether it's snowboarding or skateboarding, there's a level of fear there. So I want to be aware of what it is. For a certain level, it's good, but it's not good when it hijacks how we operate in our life where we're just trying to stay safe. Right. And so it's this balance point. And so, the other thing that I would just suggest is for people to write them out. Write down every single thing you're afraid of. Write it all out. Like you're like, I have infinite fears. No, you don't. You don't. You probably like a few on repeat, right? I think it was Dr. Joe who said we have 70 to 90,000 thoughts per day, and most of them are repetitive, right? And so it's just on this loop. So literally, if you write them all out and say, okay, what's the worst that can happen? What it does is it takes it out of this imaginary, hidden dark room in your mind that's causing a physical response, right? And it's like an Instagram filter of fear. So everything you're kind of looking at, it's like if I imagine into the future, let's say I'm going to do a snowboard trick, it's the one where my legs are breaking. You know what I mean? It's the one that I'm getting out on an ambulance. So when that fear's there, that's what I'm doing. So you can train yourself to say, you know what? This is the one where I land right on my feet and I stick my hands in the air and I'm like, heck yes, you know what I mean? I did this. So we can train ourselves to do that. So we want to take the unconscious, we make it conscious, and we look at it. Now, the other thing about fear is we have no fear with knowledge, right? So let's say, we're going out into the backcountry in Canada, the deep woods with grizzly bears and all this kind of stuff, right? And then all of a sudden you lose everybody and you're all by yourself. Well, if you have a knife and a couple tools and you know exactly what you're doing, you're survivor man, you don't really have much fear because you have all of the skills, all of the knowledge, everything you need to know to survive there. So knowledge is so important. So if you're afraid of a specific thing, check it out. Because maybe you can build some knowledge around that, and it's going to decrease that fear. So being a martial artist and all the stuff that I've done, I've talked down a guy who was going to kill a guy with a machete in a fight. It was like a super crazy thing. And I also had a gun held to my head in a forest. And both times, fear wasn't the response I had. And it wasn't something that I chose or that I'm extra tough, because I could have got stabbed and died, and I could have got shot and died too. But it was the response through training. So I didn't just go there and go, oh, I'm going to be fearless in this moment where this thing I didn't see happening, I just got stuck in it. And it was the previous training that created a response and allowed me to adapt to that scenario. So again, that's the knowledge base. And then the number one thing is faith, whatever that is for you, like a creator, creation, God. I feel like so many people are worried about that word. And when I was with the Native American elders, they say creator. I just hosted a law summit with 26 experts from around the world, and it really came back to a lot of Christian Bible stuff, which I grew up a Christian. So I kind of put the book away to the side because there's some things I didn't like, but now rereading it, I realized how powerful that book is on just basically understanding that it talks about one of the concepts that Satan runs the world, and he can trick and deceive and make you fearful, but give your faith to the creator. And when I say creator or God, it's life, good, goodness, honor, compassion, kindness, all of that energy force. That's what I'm going to be emanating and intending to move towards and be a part of. So that is life, right? The thing that grows, the thing that cooperates with this environment. So that's kind of how I see it. And I feel like when I have a fear, I can give it to the creator or life and say, you know what, this is my fear. I give it to you. You know what I mean? I want to come back to an empowered state, because the number one tool that the deceivers have on this planet are those who want to manipulate you, because there are people that do want to manipulate you and do certain things, is fear. You remove that fear, they have zero power. So it's something that you can train yourself to do. And it's not that you become fearless, you just have one ounce more courage. So if you get, that's a 50 out of 100 of fear, I have 51 courage. Oh, it's 1,000 pounds of fear. Well, I got 1,001 pounds of courage. Right. And that's a choice. And when we make that choice over and over, we develop our, courage muscle and our faith muscle.